Well, hello there, everyone. Today is Thursday, March the 10th, the year 2022. Hopefully, you're doing fantastic. And if you haven't done it yet, go back and watch yesterday's video. Bill and I chatted, Lieutenant Bill, about credit cards. And it's amazing what you can do with credit cards, but you got to be financially responsible and pay no interest, okay? So, and remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, nothing like that. But anyway, I got a question for you. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Okay, I'll explain this scenario to you, and I'll tell you at the end what I'm planning to do. But I'm always subject to change in what I do, though, so no guarantees on anything I say that I'll do. All right, so here it is. It's in regards to this house I'm living in. I have made videos in the past where I've walked around, I've showed you the pool, you've probably seen the canal. I've talked about a dock. You know, I got a dock that they delayed it again. It's not going to be mid-March. It might be the beginning of April when they start. So it's another delay. But it will be coming in here. And whatnot. I think I said I have a swimming pool. So it's a nice house. Okay. And the missus and I, we've talked about it. And we're like, man, if we had our dream house. Not that this isn't our dream house. But we do have issues sometimes with neighbors. We got a neighbor next door. He says he has a prescription for medical marijuana. Okay, that's fine. I don't care if someone wants to smoke pot. That's fine. And if they're legal, that's fine. But I don't want to be on my pool deck smelling marijuana coming across. I don't want to be walk out my front door and have them smoking it literally 25 feet away with the wind blowing it directly into me. I don't like that. It is a rental house. They have said they're moving out in a few months. So anyway, it is what it is. I don't like to complain about other people at all. And as a neighbor, if you live next door to me, if you had any issue with me at all, just tell me. If my music was too loud, which it never is, I would turn it down. If I was too loud in my backyard disturbing you, I would tone it down. But I try to be quiet because I like quietness. And I do not want to disturb any of my neighbors, but I happen to live where some people don't feel the same way. It is what it is, okay? I'm not complaining about that. I'm just stating a fact. So anyway, here's what I'm thinking. I had my realtor text me today and said he was running comps on this house that I live in, which is a very nice house, and said that if he was to list it today, he goes, I know you're not interested in selling it today, but he goes, if I was to list it today, based on the comps I've seen, I would list it somewhere between $1 million and $1.1 million. Okay? So anyway, I've lived here almost 1 year. I closed in March of last year, towards the end of the month. So we're not quite at the year mark yet, but very, very, very close to the year mark. All right? Excuse me. So I ran some numbers. I like numbers. All right? So let's just say I sold this house, put it on the market, I sold it for $1 million. All right, I'd have to subtract the realtor fee, and the more a house sells for, the higher the fee is. So typically a realtor is 6%. So that's 3% for the selling agent and 3% for the buyer's agent. And of course, they don't get a full 3%. Their brokerage house will take a cut from that. So, that's how that works. But anyway, if I sold it for $1 million, that realtor fee would be about $60,000. All right, so the end result is $940,000. My mortgage right now balance is approximately, I didn't pull it up, but I think it's $519,000 is what the balance is, but I use $520,000 for easy math. And so if I subtract $520,000 from $940,000, I come up with a profit of $420,000. I don't know about you, but $420,000 to me is a chunk of money. All right, but now I'd have to pay capital gains tax on that because I've only been here about a year. So capital gains tax would either be 15% or 20%, depends, because that income alone is putting me up high, because they count that as income. I think that's how it works for capital gains. So that would put my income at what, $420,000 plus whatever money I make on top of that, and so it's very close to the 20% capital gains tax bracket. I think I used 20%. It could have been 15%. I wrote it down. But anyway, I came up with a figure. The capital gains tax was $63,000. And I'd walk away with about $357,000. All right. I also ran the numbers at $1.1 million. The realtor fee then jumps up to $66,000, which brings the money after the realtor fee subtracted to $1,034,000. subtract the mortgage balance of $520, come up with a profit of $514,000. That's even more, $514,000 profit in 1 year, which means I'd have to pay capital gains tax again. And that capital gains tax is at 20% would be $102,800. So I could walk away with approximately, this isn't accurate because there's other fees that would get subtracted. People always make money. there's other fees that get subtracted. And I would walk away with, say, approximately $411,000. All right. If I walked away with $411,000, knowing what I know now, as an investor, I could almost take that money, find a place to live cheap, maybe house hack, buy a duplex, triplex, live there for a year, and then that becomes a rental property, and I move out and do it again. I talk about house hacking, and I do it again. But see, I'm not 20 years old, I'm not 25, I'm not 30, I'm not 40, I'm not 45, I'm not 50, I'm 54, all right? Do I want to go from living here to living in an apartment? Not saying I can't do it. I've lived in a lot of different places. I used to be in the Navy. I've slept all different kind of places I've slept in. So anyway, but here's something else to think about. Well, let me finish that thought. If I did something like that, say I could walk away between $350,000 and $400,000. I could probably go somewhere else, probably in Florida, but not right where I'm at now, or go to a different state even, buy a duplex, triplex, quadplex, at a reasonable price, live there for a year. My tenants pay my mortgage, so I'm not paying any mortgage. So I'd save up more money. And whatever, if I spent less than I walk away with, that's another couple more rental properties that I then get. So I got more rental properties, I got income. My portfolio will keep growing. Then I stay there for a year and I move out. Maybe then I move out, I buy another dream house. Maybe I go into a duplex, triplex, quadplex again. And I can be flexible. Go to different parts of the country even. Different parts of the state. I don't have any family. I do have one relative here, but for the most part, I don't have family here. So anyway, now with that being said, here's what I think I'm leaning towards doing. Time flies by. Tick tock, every day. I've been making videos for almost a year now. Every day that we wake up, it's another day. All right. I do like where I live at. I don't like smelling marijuana, but I do like where I live at for the most part. But if I stay here just one more year, in that 1 year, that dock will be built, that tiki hut will be built. It'll be very nice. I may improve the pool in some fashion. I may make it a saltwater pool. I may put a new deck down that would make it just absolutely stunningly beautiful, which means if prices don't drop, because they could, in a year, you can't predict the future. You don't buy based on appreciation, remember? But prices, if they didn't drop, if this house is 1 million to 1.1 million, maybe then it's 1.2 million. It's just, say price don't go up and they don't drop. Because based on those improvements, this house would go from being a very, very nice house to all of a sudden, especially someone looking at pictures would be like, look at that pool. Look at that tiki hut. They live up north. They want to retire to Florida. They're like, look at this house. High ceilings. I got like 15-foot ceilings out there. Beautiful tiki hut, beautiful dock, beautiful pool. Honey, look at this house. Let's go buy it and move there. People would be saying that about this house I'm in, which means I could probably go, 1.2 million, let's say. All right. And the beauty then would be if I stayed here another year, you probably know this, but if you're living in a property and you buy it and you're living in it, and as long as you live there 2 years out of the previous 5 years, when you sell it, you pay no capital gains tax. All right. Think those two tax figures I gave you, if I sold the house for $1 million or 1.1 million, were $63,000 or $102,000. I don't know about you, but $60,000, $100,000, that's a chunk of money. I'd rather not pay that in tax if I don't have to. So I don't have to sell my house. I'm living here. I'm lean, financially independent. But maybe I want to live a better life and I want more money in my pocket so then I could get myself out from under this mortgage, right? But if I stay here another year, I pocket another 60 to 100K by not paying that tax. That's a chunk of money. Okay? So anyway, what would you do? I'm curious, what would you do? All of you watching this live somewhere. A lot of you watching this, I assume, probably live in a house you bought. A lot of you probably plan to stay in your areas because you have family and friends there, you have connections, you've put down roots. So if you sold your house, you want to stay in the area. So if you sold your house, even if it's worth more and you stay in the area and you want to get a better house, well then they're going to cost that much more. So it's hard for a lot of people to do that unless they have extra money, okay? In my case, there's some flexibility. I love the part of the state I'm in. But at the same time, I know I would love other parts of the state too. But I love being on the water. And a lot of times on the water, you're going to spend a lot of money to get on the water. And if it's getting that expensive here, where it's $1 million to be on the water, it's going to be getting that expensive all around the country to be on the water. So I do have a nice little spot like that. It's not perfect, but no place is perfect. Okay? All right. So I'm curious. Even if you never comment. What would you do? All right, what would you do? I told you what I'll probably do. Odds are I'll stick it out here for another year. But you never know. You just never know. All right, anyway, have a great day. And I am going to do a reaction video probably on a video that Deon Talks made. And I'll shoot him a text and tell him. So that may be coming the next day or 2 or 3 or next week or next month or sometime. All right, y'all stay safe and love life. Mazske is signing out.